child have against a 30-year-old grown man? Like,
the overarching goal is we want people to come together.
I definitely want to bring your energy onto the platform. I think you can help us grow. And funny enough, he's the one that actually set up this interview.
how important do you think it is to be a role model for other black women trying to get into marketing? Cheers, it's your boy C.O. McClain. What's up, y'all? It's your girl Trap Sid.
And it's your boy Mookie Immature, rockstar comedian of the world. Not just the city, but the world. And gang wasn't even here to say it with me today. But
I know, it's sad.
It's all good though. We missing the guy of the squad, Jay, Kinfolk Jay.
Shout out Kinfolk.
Shout out Kinfolk. Shout out to our girl P Found, of course. She ain't been here. But also, of course, Shy, man. She ain't been missing for a little while too. So
we love you, Shy.
We love you, Shy. We miss you, girl.
We want you to come back soon. Please get better.
CEO McClain Twine ain't here today, of course. I don't know where he at.
He on his nut shit. He ain't got no excuse. He just on some nut shit.
Something happened. See, he said something happened. I don't know what happened. Probably some bullshit.
He probably wanted to watch a game.
He got a zit. Nigga, he got a zit. Last time something happened to his eyes, he's like, I just got to set this one off. He was in the corner with some shades on.
Right.
So it was this time it was something like that. Like
real
a zit
diva status.
But man, though, what's been good though? How was your weekend?
Ooh, I don't know. I'm trying to forget it. It was good. It was too good. It was one of them nights you can't talk about.
Believe.
But I'll talk about it though. My friend turned 32. Shout out to her. Happy birthday. We went out. Then we went out. Then we went out. Then we got some food. Then I went home.
That's a night right there.
But it was fun. Yeah, it was definitely fun. Shout out to Element 31, Babylon, Diamonds of Charlotte, Onyx. Bray, I was lit last night.
Oh, you was outside.
I was out. We outside, okay?
Definitely.
As I eat my Fruit Loops.
I just got back from fucking Cincinnati, man. They got cicadas and shit. Man, yeah, I seen homeless people buying raid and shit. They was like, man, they got roaches. He said, I lived out here for 17 years now. And it's the first time we got these motherfucking roaches, man. He said, I'm gonna fucking out of this dirty ass city, man. He was content with Cincinnati for 17 years. These cicadas came, bro. If y'all see the front of my car, I got all type of carcasses and shit on my shit. Big at man. They make you cause a wreck. You'll be driving, you'll hit one head on it, and then your windshield wiper just gonna smear. It ain't even gonna clean it off. No matter, you just gonna be out there, just can't see. You just trying to drive like this and shit, head out the window. That shit fucked up in Cincinnati.
Yeah, no, that shit's kind of scary.
So y'all ever had locusts? Y'all ever seen that shit since cicadas?
Yeah.
I
seen them back home.
Yeah, I don't know why we ain't got them down here. Mm-mm. I don't know why we ain't.
Don't even speak into it. North Carolina is a wild state. North Carolina be like, oh, heard you. Bing. No. We not gonna do that.
That's cool though. Yeah, I think when I got like to Kentucky, it was like some random ones, but after that it was done after that. Mm-mm. But yeah, so my weekend was crazy. Finding them motherfuckers too.
How was your show?
Oh, that shit was lit, man. It was sold out, packed house. They just ain't had no fucking air conditioning in that bitch.
It was hot,
man. What? And then it's like, and then the thing was all black.
Oh god.
So yeah, niggas in that bitch ready to fight.
Sweatbox.
Yeah. I can't even tell too many jokes about motherfuckers. Niggas in black, bro. Don't even play with me right now, bro.
It's too hot for all that. Go on.
It's too hot for all that. I ain't gonna feel like that shit right now, bro. Yeah, so. But now, other than that, though, shit was good, though. Sold a lot of merch.
Did you bring my shirt?
They said
no, I don't like that answer.
I unpacked my car and I forgot to pack it back up. So I got them on ice. I got y'all bring them on. Training day.
See, I just feel like he lying. I just feel like he's lying. It's too many pauses.
I just unpacked my car. I swear to God.
We'll talk later.
The whole DHL.
You don't have my shirt. We gonna fight. Sorry.
Smile.
Let's go ahead and get into my segment, man. First up, celebrity birthdays. Mary Kate and Ashley Owens. Happy birthday. They turned 35 today.
Dang.
They look 67, but they turned 35. So shout out to them.
They both still alive.
Age is a hell of a thing. Pull the lever. Come on.
They 35.
35. Only 35. That's what I said.
They've been through a lot.
Okay.
And it shows.
Nick wasn't for them, apparently.
Nickelodeon is too much.
Kick their ass.
Nickelodeon kick everybody ass, okay?
Yeah, and Disney.
Yeah.
Cartoon Network ain't had them issues.
They only because they're getting cartoons.
All right, scratch that. Next birthday, we got Lil Snoop. R.I.P. to him. He would have been 26 today.
Rest in peace.
So I don't know if you guys are familiar with him. He was a rapper that was gonna be signed to Meek Mill's. He was out of South Carolina, and he ended up accidentally killing himself. He was sitting in a car with his car on the garage closed and died from carbon monoxide poisoning. So he definitely was, he died young, but I still bump his music. R.I.P. to you. We're gonna go ahead and get into hot topics. First, oh my gosh, Miami. What are y'all doing down there in Miami? Let's talk about this. Polo G had an album release party this weekend, right? Apparently he was targeted. Witnesses were saying that the officers had been talking about them like the week prior to them even coming down there. They got down there, they had an album release party. Polo G, his 16-year-old brother, his 20-year-old sister, and his girlfriend were all arrested for disorderly conduct, battery against an officer, communicating threats, like a whole bunch of bullshit, misdemeanor charges. And their bond was a $5,000 bond, which at first the jail was like not letting them bond themselves out. Which, you only got to pay 10%. It's $500. Like for them, that's, a meal or whatever. But it's like, damn, like that's fucked up. Like y'all targeted us, y'all arrested us, and now y'all not letting us bail out. Yeah, lawsuit coming. Today is also the 1 year anniversary of Rayshard Brooks. I don't know if you guys remember him. He was the guy in Atlanta that was gunned down at the Wendy's by the officer. So today marks 1 year. Yeah, it went by fast. Life, man. Floyd Mayweather, his Vegas house was burglarized, and he's offering $100,000 reward for anybody that's got any information on who did it, where can they find him, how can he get his stuff back.
I'll snitch on myself.
For $100K?
All I got was only got $10,000. Shit, listen, bro. Listen, give me the money. You ready? All right, it was me, my nigga. It was me. He gonna sock my ass.
He gonna knock your ass out. Okay.
I'm just gonna clench my.
He gonna Logan Paul you. That's not gonna be good.
Shit. I'm out.
Shock G. Disorderly conduct member. His autopsy results have been made public, and his cause of death has been revealed as an accidental overdose, which is very sad, very unfortunate. Stay away from drugs, kids, as I look for the blunt. I'm just playing. For real though, stay away from drugs. It's not a good thing. And lastly, let's talk about this because this really kind of grinds my gears. There was a guy that shot a 6-year-old child for attempting to get his bike back out of his yard. He was arrested, released on bond, and then they rearrested him and increased his bond due to public outcry. But let's just talk about this first, because what in your right mind possessed you to pull a gun and shoot a 6-year-old child? What threat can a 6-year-old child have against a 30-year-old grown man? Like, that's really sickening. It's really, really sickening. And it's heartbreaking. I don't know if anybody has seen the video, but in the video, the little boy says, "Ow, he shot me." Like, that's sad. That is heartbreaking. Like, why does a 6-year-old have to know what it feels like to get shot? Is this what America is like today? Like, that shit is sad. And that's it for me. Y'all gonna piss me off. I'm going back to eat my Fruit Loops.
Wait a minute. Hold on. So the 6-year-old lived, right?
Yeah.
All right, that's good.
He got shot in the arm.
Man.
But still, like,
yeah, dude, something gonna happen to dude in jail.
that shit crazy. What's the word of the day, Mookie?
Word of the day, yeah, man. I'm going to go ahead and get to it. I'm gonna let y'all kind of participate too, because y'all might can help us out, because we missing a lot of people. So how I do it is I get a definition like always, and then y'all see if y'all can figure out the word, and then I'll do a little spin off on the word. You will see. So, word of the day, man, it's something like a cock blocker or a period. It's it means to stop. Damn. Hold on 1 second.
Stop, drop, and roll.
So something like to stop, to close up, or to block something. So like a period or like a cock blocker. To stop, close up, or block
See,
something.
it's like you giving this definition, but then when you say period and cock blocker, I'm getting negative images in my mind. So I really don't know which way to go with the word. Like am I going sexual or am I going like educational?
To stop something. To
Right.
close
That's what I'm
up.
thinking. Like, yeah, like
This is a word. So I mean, it's not a thing. It's a It's a verb. It describes something.
Okay.
So it says
To stop, to block.
to stop, to close up, or block something.
To stop, to close up.
I.e., a period or a cock blocker.
See, you confusing me.
Like a period or like a cock blocker. Or this is my dad saying, making sure I got back to the city.
I'm lost.
All right, y'all good.
I'm lost. I don't know.
The word mean is to occlude. So if you occlude something, it's to stop something, to block something. So like a period. Like an occlude.
Like exclude?
Occlude. It's I'll let you hear it. Oh shit, I ain't get that ain't mine.
Is that a Webster dictionary or something?
Nah, so I got an app called Word of the Day app, and every day give me a word.
And like these are real words.
These
like,
are real words, yeah.
Just scrolling around.
Oh yeah. So, but anyways, the word that ain't how my that ain't how my motherfucking mama used it on me. When I went home, man, she was like, Mookie, where the show at? I'm like, she like, how much is the tickets? I'm like, I ain't booked. She like, nigga, you don't have a clue, do you? I'm like, Mom, I don't think that's how the word get used. She's like, this nigga did not have a clue where the fuck this shit is at.
your own show. It be your own mama.
It be your own mama, man. It be your own people. I'm like, that's why you're using the word wrong. But yeah, so to stop or to block stuff. My mom was trying to block my dreams that weekend. She was trying to occlude my dreams. You ever got roasted by your mama and ain't nothing you can do about it?
Listen, let me tell you. Listen, Linda, both my parents are comedians. So like growing up in our house, my parents didn't argue. They would roast each other.
Oh shit.
So yeah, shit got real. Like,
you ever
your mama ever got mad at you
break some shit in the house
and hurt your feelings with jokes? Nigga.
I told your little nappy ass, she's skinny. Sit your ass the fuck down somewhere, you little stupid ass. Damn, she called you nappy headed, ashy.
Yeah, you hooked on phonics till you was in second damn grade, and you got the nerve to act like this?
Dry ass head. So I got some motherfucker brush your shit. Tear your ass up.
I'm weak.
But yeah, word of the day, a clue, man. Add that in y'all dictionary. To stop, to block something.
A clue.
A clue.
How do you spell it?
OCC LUDE.
Walking dictionary. Psych.
There it is. Yeah, I ain't know how to spell it until I looked it up though. So look, I ain't gonna lie. I did a spelling bee in the 6th grade. Out of 8 months, out of 12 people, I came in like 8th. I ain't even placing that motherfucker. I got out fast.
What was your word?
Man, don't embarrass me like that. It was like it was the I and the E's that fucked me up.
I'm weak.
But nah, though, we got some guests in the building.
Oh yeah, damn. Say on my head. I was about to say the same thing.
I bet.
Go ahead, nah, you got it. You the comedian.
Nah, go ahead. You the interviewer. The interviewer.
You make me sick. So we have some very special guests in the building, y'all. Can we? Oh, we not at training day. Don't lie. Wrong show. Sorry, y'all. It's been a long weekend. So anyway, y'all know how we do here at No Advisory. We have to bring our guests in No Advisory style. So this is original. We can't bring y'all in the regular. Hey, how you doing? We got to add a little pizzazz to it. Okay.
Just a little.
So here at No Advisory, we're gonna ask y'all 3 simple questions. Okay. Who you are, where you from, and what the fuck you do.
Go ahead, Mike.
So I'm Mike. Okay. Yeah, I'm Mike. I'm from New York, and I'm the CEO, founder of BlackToNature.
What's going on, everybody? I'm Will. I'm from South Carolina. I'm the COO of BlackToNature. Kind of keep the ship running.
I'm Jana. I am a military brat, but from Virginia, and I am the marketing consultant for BlackToNature.
All right, so my first question for those who are not familiar with you guys, can you just give us a short spiel of what exactly BlackToNature is?
Of course. So BlackToNature, we're a community-based event platform focused on connecting the Black community through indoor and outdoor activities. So in a nutshell, we want to provide a space where people that look like us have a place to go when we want to do anything outside of the traditional norm that, outside of the party and stuff like that. But there's nothing wrong with it. Love a good party. Gotta love a good turn up. But we wanted to have a space where if you wanted to go hiking, people say Black people don't hike, or I don't know anybody that does it. where you come to BlackToNature, www.blacktonature.club, and you actually can sign up for our platform, which is free, and you actually can find and create and attend various events in your area. So you don't have to just look for them; you can actually create them yourself. So if you want to go biking, on a Saturday and you don't know anybody, you can actually create that event on our platform. People can find it and actually attend it. So with the overarching goal of just we want people to come together in our community and be able to do various indoor and outdoor activities.
Definitely. You have some add on that?
Yeah, we got an app coming soon.
How soon? You want to elaborate on that?
So right now we're in the discovery phase of our app, of developing it. So we've actually been around since 2018. So for the longest time, we really just wanted to make sure we kind of get our act straight, really make sure that this is a platform that people like, that they really want to use. So to answer your question, 2022. 2023, we're going global.
There it is. Anybody ever try to buy it yet? Anybody try to... any Shark Tankers like out there like trying to...
BlackToNature's not for
So
sale.
I actually got a funny story. So my wife, when we first met on our first date, she actually made some corny joke about buying it. And I'm going to just leave it there. I'll tell you guys off air.
All right. Nah, what's up? Nah, this no advice. This no advice. Is it? Nah, this is wife. We can't do that. We can't do that.
I can't violate. And this is my sister-in-law too.
Yeah,
I'm about to
it's my sister.
I see look at this guy.
I say, yo, don't get my boy in trouble, man. We need the CEO. I don't want to have to come with him. We don't want to have to get her out of jail.
So I want to know, like, did this idea come from like personal experience of like not having people that look like you to do these activities? Like, are you guys nature people? If that makes sense, like, I guess how was this idea formed between the three of you guys, or how did the three of you guys meet?
Yeah, so pretty simple. So I'm originally from New York, like I said. When I moved out here, obviously, when you move from another like city or state, you really don't know anybody. And once I started kind of getting acclimated, especially like post college, I started trying to do different things. Because in college, I would party, college stuff, right? Mm-hmm. And then once I tried to, I want to call it like mature in a sense, and just try different things, I would start hiking by myself or just walking by myself. I wouldn't see like too many black people out there, you know what I mean? And one of the things that kind of had me a little nervous was like, you deep in the woods, you dolo, mad other people out there, and it's like, what can you really do? You know what I mean? Especially I'm coming from up north, down south. All I knew was slavery, lynchings, kidnappings, killing, all that stuff. So it's like, and then also I meet this guy who's from South Carolina, and all he talks about is like, what's it, sundown towns?
Sundown towns. We don't play with those because
So
they do exist.
yeah, you hear all these crazy stories out there. Mm-hmm. Oh, out in Charlotte?
In North
I
Carolina.
was about to say what? But yeah, so you know what I mean? It's just kind of being out there, realizing like, okay, I wish I had more people out there that look like me. The people I was rolling with at the time, obviously, they still in a club party phase. They're not trying to be out there. So I started joining various websites like Meetup, etc. And even like on those platforms, they're not catered to us. You know what I mean? Most of these platforms out here, if you look at any social media platform or anything, it's not catered to the black audience. You'll very seldom find that. So, right, name it. You know what I mean? Facebook, MySpace, etc. And while like that's okay, because that's kind of just the way the world works. I'm somebody where I don't like to complain. I don't like to just sit there sulk in a problem. It's more so let me problem solve. So how I met the two of them, well, again, my sister-in-law. So I met her when I met my wife, well, girl at the time, but I met Will, 4 years ago?
5 years.
It'd
be 5 years now, man.
It's been a minute. So I met him at work, and then me and him pretty much just connected and just kind of grew. So as time progressed, as I wanted to grow my company, I figured, okay, let me tap somebody that I actually trust. So we actually have 4 members on the team. The other guy, he actually builds all of our code from ground up. So everything that you see on our platform is proprietary technology. Our app will be built by him as well, along with maybe some like outside consultants as well. But for the most part, Josh was the first guy that joined the team. He was rolling with me. We went through a couple of team changes. That didn't work out, as I'm sure you guys know. Once you do business, You got to be very selective with who you connect with. Last year,
Yeah.
last August, I tapped Will and was like, "Yo, man, I definitely want to bring your energy onto the platform. I think you could help us grow." And funny enough, he's the one that actually set up this interview today.
Yeah.
And then Jana, my sister-in-law, the marketing consultant of BlackToNature, she's very talented with, in the marketing realm. She has a very good position at a top company where she does marketing stuff as well. And I figured, okay, well, we're at a place right now where the technology's there. Now it's really time to start, growing our base, getting the name out. I figured, why not get a local expert that's not going to hit me over the head? You know what I mean? So,
I think you covered it, boss.
Okay.
I think you got it.
So what's like the main goal? Is it the what's the main goal of BlackToNature? I understand like you want to get to spread the awareness of like the nature, but as far as the business aspect, is it like a nonprofit? Is it like a for-profit? Like I'm trying to figure out. I'm just trying to understand like what's the you know what I'm saying?
No, I got you. So I'll answer the for-profit, nonprofit. So we're actually for-profit. One of the key reasons why we did not want to go nonprofit is because once you set up a nonprofit, you have to establish a board. There's a whole bunch of legalities behind that and a bunch of red tape. You know what I mean? So being a for-profit, I can be as nimble as I need to be. Being a nonprofit, I then have to consult my board. I have to get things signed off. Like, you can wiggle around that type of stuff, but again, if anybody knows about taxes, if you don't play that smart, you're gonna get hemmed up eventually. You know what I mean? So I kind of watch what, like a Wesley Snipes, for example. You know what I mean? Like, you see stars make a lot of money, but they're not educated on taxes. So I want to make sure that every step of the way that I'm in a position to where I can limit my tax liability. So being for profit for right now just makes the most sense. That I'm saying that to say it doesn't mean that eventually we may not evolve into a nonprofit, but until I get this thing like A1, we have to stay for profit so I can be nimble. And I'll let Will kind of go into the purpose.
Yeah, man. So the goal right now for BlackToNature is we're really trying to expand our footprint right now. That's kind of why we did this interview with you guys. And right now what we're doing is our BlackToNature Champion program, which is basically an ambassador program where we're looking for various individuals in various states. Right now we're focusing on North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, Florida, and Virginia, and Alabama as well. Let me not forget them. And we're really looking for people that basically support the mission of what we're trying to do as far as creating this community-based event platform to help our community, right? So we want people that will take it to the next level and basically agree to do two things. This is what we ask is host one activity a month. It doesn't have to be nothing crazy. I tell people you don't have to go get an event planner and, I don't know, do a crazy bowling night or a hike that requires like 20, 30 people. It could be something as simple as we have one girl that's a champion here in Charlotte and all she does is walk. Like, she walks through the park and once a month she puts it on the platform and says, and invites it to everyone that's on our platform and says, hey, come out and join me, which is really what BlackToNature is about, is building that community and having people to actually do the activities that you enjoy together. So that's really what we're shooting for right now, is to get those champions that want to take their support to the next level, and then just tag us in those pictures of what you do so we can see that we're actually making an impact and other people can know that there's a platform out there for us for those shared interests.
Well, I got two questions, but my first question is, do you guys have like an age limit or like an age range that you try to specifically target, or is it open to all ages, all genders, all?
Yeah, so as far as ages specifically, 18 and up, again, liability.
Right.
But I'll be real with you. It's at the end of the day, it's about community, right? So we've had school teachers literally bring their children, their students onto some of these hikes. So if you look at those age ranges, you had like 8, 11, 12, 13, and 14 years old coming on a hike, right? And that was to Crowder's Mountain.
Okay.
We've actually had Frat and a soror of ours bring their newborn. So that age range is what, 3 months? You know what I mean? So it's really for any and everybody who's interested in coming down to a hike, whether it's the team is hosting it or somebody else is hosting it. But again, the platform, we are targeting 18 and up. As far as like race, religion, sex, etc., it's open to everybody. Like, the name is BlackToNature. We are focused on us, but we're very inclusive, right? So we try not just like Sigma.
Yeah.
We're not exclusive. We're inclusive. You know what I mean? And Sigma's very known for that. The inclusively, not the exclusively. I'm sure I messed it up. You guys been smoking a lot, so.
So my second question is, what are you guys like area of focus? Like, I think education, activism, and I forgot the third, but can you guys go into each one of those parts for us and kind of explain a little bit more?
Yeah, well, ultimately, so this is something I've actually never shared on an interview. So you guys are about to get a quick exclusive. Everything we're doing right now is starting out very focused on, just focused on events, right? Eventually, what we're trying to really focus on is just building a Black social media platform. There are currently a few Black social media platforms, and, one of the things that I think is lacking in a lot of those is the quality isn't really there. Therefore, that you can't really derive too much value from a low quality product. Again, no shade, no nothing like that, but that's just what it is. And also, a lot of those platforms are really just focused on what's already happening today. My focus for my community is really education. You know what I mean? So you hear me talking about taxes, you hear me talking about a whole bunch of other stuff. My wife and I are actually writing a book right now, and I'll plug that at the tail end of that. But at the end of the tail end of this, but ultimately, we really are trying to just create a space to unite the Black community. You know what I mean? Like, it's very important right now. I think a lot of people, again, I'm not from the South, but when I met Will and he's telling me all these things that's like locally going on, I wasn't aware of that up in New York. You know what I mean? Like, you have other racial issues in New York. In Charlotte, South Carolina, etc., it's completely different, but it's all the same if you catch my drift. You know what I mean? So ultimately, BlackToNature is a safe space for Black people to connect. Point blank period. That's the easiest way to really put it. But what we focus on is events. So again, like Will mentioned, we are running a champion ambassador program where we are looking for those that are eager to kind of get out. You guys are very personable people. You'll be great candidates for a champion, maybe. And pretty much, like if you go to Crowders, if you just go into a park, wherever, just put it on the platform. You know what I mean? It's just all about connecting with people. The second value that we have, we're trying to educate again. So we're actually going to be debuting what's called our Essentials page, and that's coming around October, November this year. And essentially what we're trying to do, no pun intended, but what we're trying to do really is teach people how to grow your own food. Teach people the importance of gun safety, right? So I'm a legal gun holder. So everywhere I go, I have my protection. On our hikes, I'm protected. You know what I mean? And I think that's very important for people to know.
Is that for the bears? What's that for? Like bears and stuff? Or like
That's for my people. You feel me? Any threat, that's really the purpose of being protected. You know what I mean? In all seriousness, because when you start really looking on what's going on in our society, it's tragic out here for us. You know what I mean? And just us as a collective, we're not really that connected. Like we are, but we're not. You know what I mean? So, and not to get super like deep or whatever, but the next thing and the final one is really activism. So while we're trying to connect people, fun and games and educate people, we also believe in giving back. My story is a little crazy. I'm first generation American. Like I was telling you before we started the interview, if I stayed in New York, I would have been in I would have had a completely different situation now. You know what I mean? I would not be where I'm at now. Moving to Charlotte got me away from a lot of that stuff and away from trouble. You know what I mean? So I really feel that I've been blessed. Watcher Will kind of, I don't want to say grow up because I met homie at like 23, but to watch him mature from where he was to where he is now, leaps and bounds. You know what I mean? So, and I'm looking forward to building that relationship with my sister-in-law as well. I'm all about just kind of giving back because I've been extremely blessed. So I want to make sure that the platform is reflective of my beliefs as an individual, and most importantly, to grow and to connect my people. So, yeah. Probably not what you were expecting, but yeah, that's like really where we're trying to go.
Sorry, I got a lot of questions. This question is geared directly to you, Mr. Marketing Rep. How important do you think it is to be a role model for other Black women trying to get into marketing? Because I know that marketing is becoming a big thing now, especially with the way the world is developing. Internet is basically essential for everything. Social media, people make money off of it. I know that there isn't a lot of representation in that field. So for you specifically, two-part question. A, how do you feel about being a role model? And B, what were some of your experiences getting to where you were today?
Okay, so I might have to answer that in reverse order because, let's see, I've been in marketing for about 10 years now, and I've never had a Black manager. I have very rarely worked with Black people, and so not having that influence around me, I've had a few, and I'm so close with all of them because we had to be close. Like, you just have to be. Right. But one of the things that I know about not having that influence is that weighs heavy on you. And you don't know it until someone shakes it out off of you. So a little bit about my story. So I worked in marketing for about 8 years. Then I went back to school to get my MBA. My MBA was at UVA. My first weekend was Unite the Right. That was tough because I didn't realize until I had gotten into, because I'd lived in DC and I lived in New York. I'd been in very diverse cities. I didn't realize how much work I was doing to fit into the companies that I was in until I had to face really that Unite the Right situation and then going into a school where I was like one of 4 Black women in my class. I've never really been, until I had been in that group of people at Darden, I was in like a group of Black and brown people who like got full scholarships to go to Darden to get their MBA, and we like held each other up for that 2 years because that was just so necessary. Yeah. But also I was around Black people who knew what it was like to have Black influences, and I would tell them things and they'd be like, that's not supposed to happen. And I didn't even know. I'm like closing in on 30 and had no idea that I was doing so much work to fit in and how much that was weighing on me. Mm-hmm. So for me, leaving Darden and going into, then I graduated from Charlottesville and I moved to Boston, which was, that's like, I went from bad to worse, that was not easy. But then the company in itself also has issues where there are very few Black younger people, but I'm in a position of power. I'm a senior manager, I'm managing a team, and I have a voice now. And having spent 8 years with like a veil over my eyes and having it rocked off of me, I can't do anything but stand up now. Right. It's my responsibility because I know what it's like to not have anybody there to protect you, and I just can't let that happen. So it's absolutely important. And then to the part about being a role model, just in marketing in general, marketing has such a big responsibility. We are responsible for perpetuating stereotypes. We should also be held accountable for tearing them down. And so for me, I hate that I hate that I feel obligated to do the work, because really everybody should be a part of doing that work to do that. But I do participate in a lot of the DEI events, and I lead one of the work streams at my company to build up the culture so that people can feel safe talking about their experiences, no matter what their background is. And again, it just all comes back to just like that 8 to 10 years lead up of just being kind of like blindsided of the work that I was in. So then actually and then coming in with these guys, I'm realizing I'm still kind of doing a lot of that work and not realizing it. And so I'm still unlearning a lot of bad behavior. And the past couple months, I've stepped back and wondered, would I have to unlearn things if I had a mentor that was there to help guide me? And like me and Mike have had these conversations. I don't want other young Black women or men coming into marketing having the same experience, because it is not fun. So thank you for asking that question. Yeah.
Had to, yeah, woman to woman.
Now you got deep though.
I apologize.
I knew it had to be hard. Like, you don't really see a lot of African American people in marketing in general, let alone African American women. So it's like, I had to ask.
No, I got deep. So where you from originally?
From Virginia.
From Virginia, that's right. And so you're from Virginia, and you said, what part of Virginia you from?
I'm from Suffolk and Norfolk.
I'm
all Hampton Roads area.
Okay. So you ain't, so I guess it's just two different parts of Virginia, huh? Okay.
Yeah,
say
yeah.
that-
There's two different parts of Virginia. I've lived in both though.
But so you said the Know Your Rights, like, is that school like? So I mean, I'm just a little bit confused about that area. Like, what was? You said the Know Your Rights. Like, what was that all about?
Oh
like,
no, Unite the Right.
Unite the
That
Right.
was Charlottesville, 2017.
Tiki.
The
Oh,
Tiki
when they-
Torches. That was
okay.
my first weekend in Charlottesville.
Oh,
Coming off
that
of 5 years in
weekend.
New York. Yeah, that was so.
So was you out there that day? Never mind.
Well, no, not at the rally, but the night before with the Tiki Torches, like that was not supposed to happen, and so, like when we were out trying to get into like the bars, just like partying with our classmates, like I was with other Black and brown women in my class, and they like rushed us into the bar because they were like, "Y'all got to get inside. We can't have you outside because they're coming down the street."
Oh wait,
So that was like my introduction to my MBA program.
that's crazy.
Yeah.
Jeez.
I know, right? So I know, like, who was? I know you said this. So this is like you the mastermind behind this, right? So this is
Yeah, in a sense.
how long? I know. So when did you come about this idea? Like when did you decide? Like
Really and truly, I came up with the idea in 2017, but I didn't execute on it until 2018.
okay.
Yeah.
What was it? What made you? What was like the discrepancy? What made you like wait on it?
Well, you just know, like, just to keep it a buck with you, you ever just had a good idea or what you perceived as a good idea, and you're just like, this is kind of dope.
I know what you mean. You had
And you wake up and it's like, all my life. And then that was it, like for real. Like,
that was a good idea. I mean, a good idea.
yeah. And then honestly, I was at work one day. I was just sitting there typing on the computer bored. And I was like, you know what? Google LLC. I was like, fuck it. $200 to file a LLC. I'm gonna do that. And I did it. And I think it was 2 weeks later, I didn't know what to do. So I just went on GroupMe. I posted a little thing. Yo, I'm going to a nature reserve. I'm going to go walk. Meet me out there. 12 people showed up. Then I was like, this is kind of dope. Did it again. More people showed up. I was like, well, this kind of nice. Let me try something else. Let me do a hike. I did that. And then I realized I don't want to lead hikes. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to be a truly like an event organizer. I really just want to be able to provide a platform because there's a responsibility when you're designated leader.
Yeah.
And if you're not really super like outdoor nature person, it's kind of burdensome. You know what I mean? So I quickly shifted my idea from me as an individual leading hikes to me just creating a platform for where people can kind of just connect.
How do you see your platform being? Is it more so like a LinkedIn to where it's like specific for just like that type like business or that type like nature things, or would you be more so like a Instagram, whereas it's just like most people creating profiles and well they both like the same thing, or would it be more so like a event art where people like post their events or like, you know what I'm saying, this one make calls? Like, how do you see it?
I would say right now, just to conceptualize it, you can say this is like a Black Eventbrite.
Okay.
Just keep it simple, right? But
Yeah.
appreciate it. But eventually, I would like it to become a Black Instagram because I think one of the main differences between what happened before George Floyd and what happened after George Floyd is, and you were talking about, marketing, and Jana was talking about the influence that marketers have. If you look at other platforms before the whole George Floyd thing, like there's one big platform out there, I'm not going to name them, but I actually scoured like all of their marketing materials. And if you look on TV, well, look at this commercial right here. Like, you know what I mean? You mainly see like racially ambiguous people. Mm-hmm. After George Floyd, it became cool to support Black. Mm-hmm. Have you guys noticed that? Mm-hmm. I'm not with that. You know what I mean? Because right now it's trendy to tap in. What about 5 years from now? What about 10 years from now? I don't have any kids, but when I do, I feel like there's a responsibility for me, before I die, to leave my mark on this earth. And my mark right now is really just to embody my mindset, because I think there's always a selected, chosen few of us who's really willing to put everything on the line for that. You know what I mean? And I spent a lot of money building up the platform, going to be pouring more money in there. And all I ever ask, really, from anybody that joins and taps in with it, is just spread the word. Because eventually it'll catch on. And I'm not doing this, like nobody on my team is doing this for riches or anything like that. Because there's certain ways you have to monetize and do all these other things, but we're really not there yet. So I've been doing this officially since 2018, haven't made $1, but I've spent thousands on it. You know what I mean? And I feel like what's to come at the end of this year, what's to come in 2022 is super huge. You know, when we just officially launched our platform this year, we actually got tapped in with the United Nations. You know what I mean? And that was from another interview that we had. They liked what we were saying so much, and they tapped in with me. They connected us. You know what I mean? So I think the more that we kind of get out there, the more people really hear what we're trying to do and really see it through the actions. I think we can reach that Instagram level status, especially when we debut our app. Right now, we're asking people to go to our website, www.blacktonature.club. But sooner rather than later, you'll be able to just go to your iOS store, Android marketplace, type in BlackToNature, download it, and access us that way. You know, so as long as we can continue to reduce the friction of connecting with us, the faster we'll start growing. And I think once we get that app, we'll have that exponential growth.
All right, so we got about 5 more minutes here with you guys, but I do want to ask you one question that I want each of you guys to individually answer. So that question is, what has been the greatest lesson that you have learned so far in this journey?
I'm gonna let Jana go first since she knew.
Sure. I'm the newest person to the team, so my journey's been short. But I alluded to it earlier. The greatest lesson is the power of authenticity and how much of a weight it lifts off your shoulders when you get to be around people where you can be yourself. Like in our latest meeting, my first couple of meetings, I would say something and I would think like, oh shoot, I didn't mean to say it like that. I'm so sorry. And they'd be like, don't apologize. I'm like, oh, I don't have to be who I am in my 9 to 5. Right. I don't have to, like, and then I'm realizing that's so much work. I don't want to do that anymore. So like that power of being around people where you can be authentic with who you really are is so powerful. And I just encourage everybody to lean into that.
Tap in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, tap in. Probably be just jump in when you thinking about starting a business, starting a journey. Kind of how like Mike said he just woke up that day. I remember sitting next to you in the office when you're like, "Well, I'm about to file for this," and you just kind of did it. And I was just like, "What is he doing over there?" But yeah, the biggest lesson for me is just being an entrepreneur myself and being a part of BlackToNature is really when you have a good idea, don't wait until it's perfect. You know, kind of jump in. You get it just as far as you can go to where people will at least give it a shot. But then at that point, hop in, because if you wait till it's perfect, you've waited too late. Somebody else has probably come in and taken your idea or taking your audience.
Yeah, so my answer is gonna be a little bit back to that deep side. Honestly, I think where we are as a Black collective, I don't think we can have one leader. I think we need to have multiple. You know what I mean? And I think we need to really start enhancing those voices of those different pockets of people out there. Because if you start looking at what's happened historically, you have Fred Hampton, you have MLK, you have Malcolm X, list goes on. You typically cut the head off, body drop. You know what I mean? So how I look at BlackToNature is not just, this is Mike's platform, Mike started this, whatever. It's really, this is a platform to empower each and every one of us. You know what I mean? So throughout the platform, as we continue to grow, it's really to, again, enhance and bring us together, because you always hear Black people say, I'm not a monolith. But right now, we really have no direction as a collective. You know what I mean? So I'm hoping the little bit that I'm doing with BlackToNature is really and truly going to start sparking some of those ideas and really start driving us collectively forward, not just nature only. You know what I mean? So right now, yeah, we're very focused on nature. We're very focused on
Target shooting.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Because one thing I learned from Jana is you can't just be all out there. you know. But again, if you talk to me, you kind of see like where my mind is at. So we're very focused on nature because that there's a lot of healing out there. You know what I mean? And it's free. You can literally walk in the park. You can go on dates. Walk. You know what I mean? Like there's just so much you can do for free being outside. So we're just focused on that for now. But as we continue to grow, you're gonna start seeing a lot more building blocks, you know, out there. So yeah, stay tuned. www.blacktonature.club.
Yes, sir.
And can y'all tell everybody where they can find you on Instagram also?
Yes. You can follow us on Instagram at BlackToNature_LLC. Once again, it's BlackToNature, all one word, _LLC. But as Mike pointed, we really want you guys to go to the website, www.blacktonature.club. Sign up, create an event, attend an event, tell a friend to tell a friend. That's the best way that you can support us.
I'm gonna make a commercial for y'all, man.
Please do.
Yeah, please do. Shoot, we'll take it.
Y'all need to tap into his Instagram. The man is hilarious.
Okay.
Costumes.
Okay.
Yeah, Mookie and Mitchell, man. I'll tap in with y'all fairly. We got another interview coming up.
I think reasons, but he's not here. So we're gonna take a short intermission. We're gonna take some pictures. We're gonna do experience videos, and we'll be back.